Hey guys, this is Johan with the Realty Team. And in this video, I'm going to talk through what an appraisal guarantee slash coverage is. So in a competitive market, seller's market, and you get multiple offer situation, it's pretty common for the winning offer to do some type of appraisal guarantee or coverage. So what is that? So by default, our purchase agreement includes a appraisal contingency, meaning if the house does not appraise by the bank for the purchase price that we agreed to, you have a contingency. You can renegotiate, you can back out of the deal, and you will get your EMD back. That's what a contingency to your offer is. As long as the offer does this, then I'll agree to buy it. However, an appraisal guarantee and coverage is you're going to offer to the seller, hey, if it appraises lower, I'm either going to make up the difference to get to this original purchase price, or I'm going to make up a difference up to X dollars. And this makes your offer a lot more attractive to a seller because now they feel like, if it appraises a little bit low, they're still going to get their money. So when should you use an appraisal guarantee and coverage? It's a competitive market. There's multiple offers and you want to win. Most of the times the winning offer is going to have this. It's not required, but it makes your offer significantly stronger. Because for one example is if you're competing with cash. Cash doesn't have an appraisal because there's no bank. So a seller knows that if they get a cash price, they're going to get that price. Whereas with a bank offer, they always have this risk of what if it appraises low. This takes that question out for them. A full appraisal guarantee, they know they're going to get that money. And a partial, they at least know that if it appraises a little bit low, they're going to get a little bit more money over the appraised value, which makes the seller feel good. So one note is a partial guarantee. You know exactly how much money that you could potentially spend more out of your pocket. A full guarantee, you would have to be willing to know, like if that comes in low, wherever it comes in low, that you're agreeing to paying up the whole difference, or you would back out and you lose your EMD if you agreed. So when you feel pretty confident about that it's going to appraise pretty close, and you just want to make your offer look really, really strong, but you're pretty confident it's going to be close, that's when you can use that full guarantee, because you're feeling decent about it and you want to make your offer super strong. A full guarantee is going to beat a $5,000 guarantee. So just a couple notes. You're not paying more than you originally agreed. You're only making up the difference. So if you said you're going to pay $100,000 and the appraisal comes in at $90,000 and you have a full guarantee, you're still only paying $100,000. You're not paying more than that. You're just making up the difference. So you're not losing any money by doing this. And then another big note is appraisers are looking at historic comps. They're looking at sales over the last 3 to 6 months. So in an appreciating market, it's almost impossible for prices to continue to rise without people doing appraisal guarantees, because they're looking at the past 2 months, and prices today are statistically most likely more expensive than then in a rising market. So somebody's got to give there. So it's a very common thing to do. So let's do an example. Let's assume the buyer's putting 20% down with a full appraisal guarantee. So purchase price is $100,000. 20% down is $20,000 of that. And then let's say it appraises low at $90,000. So the buyer is going to make up this difference from $90,000 to $100,000. So you're still putting down your original 20%. You're still putting down your original 20%, but now it's based on $90,000. You're putting down 20% based on the appraised value to the bank. So it's $18,000 there. Your purchase price, $100,000 minus appraised value, 90%, $90,000. So now you got to make up this $10,000 difference. So you're at $18,000 plus $10,000. You're at $28,000 out of pocket. That ends up being 28% down instead of 20%. That's the difference. You're putting down 28% instead of 20%, but you're still getting the house at $100,000. No, it's not the full $10,000 more, because your 20% down is based on a lower amount. So it's actually $8,000 more out of pocket, even though you're doing a $10,000 gap coverage. So here's another one. Let's assume the buyer's putting down 20% and you're doing a $5,000 appraisal gap coverage instead of a full guarantee. So purchase price is $100,000. 20% down is $20,000. Let's say the price is low at 90, but you said you were going to do 5,000. So now you're going to renegotiate the price to $95,000. Now, notice that you do have to renegotiate this. If this comes in at $60,000, the seller might tell you no. And that could happen. The appraisal guarantee is going to say both parties can renegotiate. So you still have to renegotiate and make sure that they're okay with this new number. So you're renegotiating $95,000 from $100,000. So now your new purchase price, you're actually getting this house cheaper now. You did an appraisal guarantee of $5,000, and now you're getting a house for cheaper than you originally were. Like, this is, you might have been in a competitive situation and beat out 3 other offers. But now, because it appraised low, you're actually getting the house cheaper. So another strategy to use, if you don't think it's going to appraise, do a 5,000 gap coverage, and you might end up getting it cheaper. So purchase price is 95,000. 20% of that is 19,000. So note it's $1,000 less than you were going to do. And new purchase price minus appraised value. So now you have to make up this $5,000 that you said you would with your gap coverage. So 19,000 plus 5,000 equals $24,000 down. So originally it was going to be $20,000. Now it's 24. You're not paying a full extra 5,000. You're paying $4,000 more out of pocket, and you're getting the house $5,000 cheaper. So a note for investors: putting down more increases your cash flow because your monthly payment is going to be lower. So monthly payment lower is higher cash flow, but it's typically going to decrease your ROI just a touch because you're less leveraged. You're putting more of your money into the deal. So one goes up, one goes down. It's kind of whatever. Primary home buyers, this is a pretty cool strategy for a home buyer. Is, say you're originally planning on putting down for 20%. Well, a home buyer can oftentimes do 3, 5, 10, 15% down. So talk to your loan officer, say, hey, I want to do 10% down because I'm in a competitive market and I want to be able to make up an appraisal difference. So say you get this pre-approval letter for 10% down instead of 20%. So let's look at this on an example. A full guarantee, $200,000 house, 20% down would be $40,000 out of pocket. Instead, you're going to get a 10% down loan, which is only $20,000 out of pocket. Let's say the house appraises low for $180,000. Well, now your 10% down is based on $180K, so it's $18,000 out of pocket. But you still have to make up this difference: $200,000 purchase price minus $180,000 appraised value. So you've got to make up this $20,000. So you're $18,000 down plus your $20,000 appraisal coverage equals $38,000. So now you're going to buy this $200,000 house and you're going to put down 19% instead of the 10% or the 20%. You still bought the house for the same exact amount of money and you still put down less than 20%. So primary home buyer is a pretty cool strategy if you're able to put down less than 20% and still end up fine. Hopefully that helps. Pretty good strategy when you want to win a bidding war.